Thank you very much for inviting me here today to talk a little bit about our company and how we started this company from an DTU idea to real business. So I will use 15 minutes to tell my story. Questions in respect to the guys that's coming after me, I would prefer if we take the questions afterwards. We are located just around the corner there. So feel free to come and visit us afterwards, and I will answer the questions for you. So what is my background for starting a company with DTU? So I have a background in the IT industry and mainly worked with very large US-based companies like Intel, Dell, Unisys. And my education is production engineer and have an executive MBA on top of that as a Master of Technology with focus on innovation and product development. And that's actually from here, from DTU. So I was what we call a business person in between jobs looking for new challenges. So the idea from DTU, I visited the Medical Bazaar in January 2013, and there I met this team here that was actually the QSAR team from the Danish National Food Institute. With the team, there was Anders as well, that was actually looking for someone, a business person that could actually, like many of you guys, that could actually help this idea to become a success, or going out to the market, explore the markets. And after a short introduction to the technology at the bazaar, the team and I decided we should meet shortly after in order to figure out, could we explore the opportunities to create some kind of spin-out, some kind of business. And just to give you a little, these guys here last month, or actually earlier this month, won this the 3R prize. And this prize is given to people and teams that is working to reduce the use of animal tests. So when you do testing in chemicals and drugs. So this is quite an achievement. So during the exploration of the opportunities with DTU, it became clear to me that it was a unique opportunity. It was based on very high-skilled people. There was some IP that where a lot of IP actually that was not out in the market at the moment, and some of it was actually suitable for being patented. So with that in mind, it was clear that this one here, because of we also need to have human resources involved in this. We need to sell this as a service. We cannot just sell a computer program and then have everybody do it themselves. We need to have these experts involved. So we decided that we wanted to create a service company around this. So in October 2013, we decided to create Saxocon. As you can see, that DTU is a co-owner of this company, and that means that it's a way for DTU to get access to the commercial market via Saxocon. So not having all these discussions about NDAs, all these kind of things, it takes a lot of time in an organization like DTU, but as a private company, we could do it much faster. So it is a company that is owned by my holding company and DTU. And I decided, with, of course, full support from my wife, to finance my part of this company with personal financing. And that means that you do, it's also known as the bootstrapping model. Some of you guys have probably heard about this one. It's a nice way to do it. And this was a good way to do it because we don't have to go up and build a huge facility. It's a service company. That means that we can go out, go to the market right away. And And DTU got their share in this here by actually deposit the rights to the patent that we then afterwards used. Now Anders, he left, but I would like to acknowledge Anders Permin, the former deputy director of the DTU Food Institute, to be a strong believer in the future of Saxocon. It's not been easy, and there's been a lot of obstacles around going through the road, but we both had a really strong belief that this one here could be a success. So a little bit about the product, and it's not a product presentation. So I'm just gonna describe a little bit about our service. Saxocon, we do risk assessments to predict toxicological effects in chemical substances. That's why we have this one over here. We provide what we call research-based service, and that consultancy service. And that is because our very close relation to DTU makes it easy for us to actually go in and get the right people in play towards the customers. So our part of our service is also to using this skilled team, the QSAR team, in order to do computer-based toxicological methods to actually help us get results without using in vivo or in vitro tests. I've met a lot of people that work with technology for many years, and one of the things that is common is they have a strong belief that their product is so easy to go out to the market with. It's only a matter of sales effort, then you have a success. Well, it's not always the case. So unfortunately, you have to do a lot of rounds. You need to go out to do some market research, and you also need to go and see if you can commercialize your product. What we did was that we went out and commercialized our service in order to serve the demand in the market, to see how can we fit in here. It's still what we call a disruptive technology. Many of the people that are working with animal tests and do a lot of in vitro tests, they don't really like that technology. They haven't seen it yet, but that doesn't matter. But it's still there. So what I also learned here is that you should never underestimate luck. Be in mind, luck is one of the things, and timing is very, very clear. If you have that, well, then it seems that now you're getting closer to a success. It's not that success is there, but you're getting closer. Half a year after we started Saxocon, a new guideline for testing impurities in drugs came out using computer modeling, also known as QSAR. And that was released by the authorities and was forced into all the companies developing drugs, that when you have impurities, you need to test it in there. And after some work with some of our clients, we actually shaped our service in to serve that market. So in December 2014, we actually got our real first sales order and started to deliver. And this was what I call a commercial turning point for Saxocon. So I'll show you a little bit about some timelines and some key milestones. In order for you guys to see that there is some learnings from here that probably you guys can use as well. Get the idea, figuring out how to start it up. There's a lot of negotiation that you need to do in order to start up a company like this, especially if you had more partners in. If you have VC capital in, you will also see that these guys also need to be heard in that sense. It takes some time to get your product into the market. We got that in 2014. Doesn't mean that you have to get paid, because it took some time before we actually got enough cash flow in order to actually get paid here. So, and then at September 2015, we have our second employee in Saxocon. So, if you look at the cash flow here, it's just an illustration, but it says a little bit about, you start out with pulling a lot of money into something, and then for our sake, it's because we don't have that huge investments, we could see that as soon as we get some orders, our cash flow starts to become positive. And that is why a service company is, for this sake, much easier to actually start up. If you decide to use the model that we have used, the bootstrapping model, I would say there is some key takeaways here. You need to be patient. You need to have money to invest, and then you need to have a wife or husband with a good salary. That's one of the key elements, I would say. So, the future is look very exciting for us. We have good loyalty from our customers. They keep on coming back. They like the way we do services. We have plans to expand into other markets than only Denmark. We have a few customers around, some in Europe, we have some in the Nordics. But we need to do a little bit more structured approach geographically. And we're also working on new products that's going to hit the market to our existing customers and also to our new customers. So we have reached now a level for being on, I think actually it's on Saturday, we are 3 years old. That's pretty good. But we have reached a maturity level where we can now start continuing our growth, and also both in revenue and in how we expand our organization. So, is that 15 minutes? I hope so. So, yeah, thank you for your time.
So Martin, thank you very much for your excellent presentation and the story about the start from a DTU patent to actually a living and very lively company today.
Yeah.
So if I can repeat a little bit, the take-home message here is that first of all, the most important thing is to have the team. Yeah. To make sure that you have the team, the scientific person, but also the commercial people in place to make this work. Yeah. Second thing is to have of course, the technology, and here the QSAR technology is on the forefront, and that has been also one of the challenges, that actually the technology is so new. Yeah. So some of the times when we've been out visiting, I'm sitting in the board, so I very often go with Martin to meetings with companies. But then when we've been out presenting the technology, even toxicologists in the bigger medicinal companies in Denmark are not aware of this technology. So that's been another challenge for us to actually explain the technology and the potential use of it. And then, of course, the last thing, the market. And here you point at that the market and the success was also that the European Medicinal Agency and FDA in the US introduced that you could use QSAR to avoid animal testing. Yeah. So that was kind of a regulatory aspect pushing onto the market and making it possible for Saxocon to survive. So I think that is the take-home message.
Yes, definitely.
That I conclude from your presentation.
So I will repeat: never underestimate luck. It's I would say it's you need to, but you can actually work hard in order to get the luck. So that's also a takeaway. Yeah.
But Martin, thank you very much.
Yeah,
and questions, Martin will be standing over there in the corner, and available for questions.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.